So, the goal of this practice that we are doing is to master ourselves. Meaning, in the tradition, they call it being the master of the wheel, which I think is a very nice way of putting it. And really, what it means is that we do this basic practice that you now have been exposed to for a number of years. And we not only do it when we sit down and meditate, but we start to bring it into our life, practical life, in life with intimate relationships, family life, work life. We bring that in. And what is necessary, turn our attention inward. Right? This is not to our patterns and identities, but of course we meet those on the way. When we look inside, we see, oh yeah, and if we are honest with ourselves, we see, well, yeah, I'm a person who's, for example, have a tendency to always want to take care of everybody else, and I forget myself. This is a pattern with me, a tendency. And then you breathe into that, and you open, and you start to feel your deeper center, and in that you discover that you have other options. You can really, from that deeper awareness, act differently.
Yeah.
You have a wider repertoire
Yeah.
than what you had in the past, when you open to this deeper silence and energy. So, in this wheel, we have, the Anutara is the endless and infinite reality beyond time and space, beyond all manifestation. There's something has given birth to this whole universe. And the tantric traditions present it this way. And it makes a lot of sense that, you have, and when you really go into yourself, you will feel that reality at some point. You might have a flash of insight that, oh yeah, I really am that silent state of being. I really am that deeper self, beyond your worries, beyond all of your patterns and identities. You are just that simple state of being. And it happens most clearly, I think, for most people in open eyes meditation. You have a glimpse of that, I'm just more relaxed, I just am, I don't have to be this or that or whatever. It's a question of letting go. It's a question of non-attachment. If you think of this wheel, we have the self, the deepest level, which is directly connected with that which is beyond time and space. So when we go deeply inside ourselves, we can have a glimpse of that. We have an experience of that silence, that mystery, that awe. You just sink into that. And it's wonderful. It's like a weight falls off your shoulders. It's totally liberating. You're free of yourself. Something called the Bindu. It's a point which is really kind of the doorway into this unlimited dimension. So here we have the universe unfolding from the beyond time and space, mysteriously, whether you call it God or you call it universal energy or whatever you call it. Here they call it Anutara, that dimension. And the Bindu is the opening is the point, the doorway into that. And in a way, each of our chakras has a Bindu, has a point that is a doorway. And when you feel that opening, then you are opening into this, into the infinite, to that which is beyond time and space. And of course, this is where all creativity comes from. So when we open to that in ourselves, then we suddenly have creativity. We get more energy. We get to contemplate, moving in the world in a different way. and relating in a different way. So we have the inner circle here is the self with a big S. It's not your identity and your learned experiences and so forth, patterns, but it is that simple state of being. It's the heart of the matter. It's your, not physically the heart, but it's the core of yourself. Yeah, the essence of yourself, which is the same as the essence in all of the universe, all the manifest world, all people are the same source. So we want to open to that because that's where the solutions are. This thing of being aware of the deeper part of yourself, your real self, while you are struggling with old patterns. This is the only way to be free of the patterns. Because, of course, all people have a tremendous temptation to go to the outer ring here, right? We have the power of our mental, thinking and all the mentation, and we have the power of our senses. We feel things, it's very immediate, and then we have all the objects of the senses. That includes our patterns and identities and all of that. So the degree to which we are attached to that means, and they illustrate it in this in a very interesting way, because if this is a wheel, here in Denmark you got a lot of bicycles, and the bicycle wheels have spokes, don't they? So and this wheel is spinning, it's constantly emerging out of the dimension beyond time and space and coming out. And if you are not in the center, you are out here and you get whacked with the spokes all the time. Boom, 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 the spokes hit you. Oh, now I did the same thing again. I engaged myself in a way that I destroyed myself or lost myself. That's a whack. Yeah. So when we do that enough, hopefully it motivates us, and as we start to practice, we realize that I cannot be out here. I can't be attached to my idea even of what my business ought to be. I know in business circles, you talk about having your vision of where you want to go and goals, and all of that is fine, but if you are overly attached to it, you get smacked. I've learned that the only way I can deal with it is to go back here, stay here all the time. Then I'm another image would be if there's a whirlwind or a tornado. Where's the safest place in a tornado?
In the middle.
In the middle. This can be blowing like crazy out here. If you are at ease in yourself, in your center, and really take care of that's the only place to be attached. But if you're standing in the middle, you can enjoy it. But it's, of course, it's challenging work, and you have to really want it, and you have to let go. And the letting go part is very hard, because when we meet our own patterns, this is what we know. And the tendency is to reinforce. And do it again. And again and again. And the more we do it, the more it gets. So you have to, at some point, really, and this is what the practice is for. When we do sit down and we breathe and we relax and we open the heart, we are just really telling ourselves, I don't want to be in that outer circle. I don't even want to be attached to this body, because it's going to go. It's, of course, very difficult to do, but we can train ourselves to get better and better at it. And then life is more and more satisfying on a deep level.